Ajay sir, welcome. Ajay sir, welcome. Are you able to hear me? Oh, 1 minute, sir. Oh, Ajay sir, you can unmute and
Yeah. Good
yeah.
morning.
Good
Am I
morning, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. You are perfectly audible.
So the video picture is clear. Okay.
Not so much, but okay. Yeah, something actually blinking from back side.
I
No problem, sir. No problem. It's okay. Yeah. Sir, within 5 minutes, we will start, sir. 10 o'clock, we will start.
yeah. Okay.
So, how is Mizoram, sir? Should I to come and visit Mizoram? Ajay, sir. Hello. Sir, you are muted. I check it, sir. Ajay. Ajay. Sir, now you can unmute. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes it is showing that the host is not allowed to.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So within 5 minutes, na, I'll
Yes.
be ready for that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So keep it the unmute option. Yeah. Give the
Okay.
unmute option.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that sometimes there may be problem, na.
Yes.
So give the option to unmute permanently.
Okay. I have given unmute option, sir. When you want to unmute yourself, you can unmute.
Yeah. Now it is okay. Okay.
So how is Mizoram, sir? I have heard that Mizoram is a very nice place. Ajay, sir? Yeah. Okay. Sir is muted. Sir, mute हो जा रहे हैं. Okay. हाँ, ये- You can sit now. बैठ जाओ. Shiv sir, you are here.
Yeah.
No, I am asking to Shiv Kumar sir.
Okay.
HOD sir. Hmm. Yeah. Shiv sir. I think he is not listening me anyway. So I start the program, sir. Yeah. Today is the third day of our FDP, which is happening in the Learning Temple of CMR Engineering College, Hyderabad. Today we have a two session. The first session is going to be covered by Dr. Ajay Kumar Khan. I will first introduce about him. Dr. Ajay Kumar Khan is presently serving as Associate Professor and as a Head of Department in the Computer Science and Science Engineering from Mizoram, in the Mizoram University, which is actually a central university under the MHRD. He has completed BTech and MTech in Computer Science and Engineering from University of Calcutta and PhD from Assam University. He has more than 14 years of teaching experience in the field of computer science and engineering. Dr. Khan has published more than 30 research papers in reputed journals and more than 25 papers in international conferences and in the form of books. He served as a resource person in more than 15 conferences, seminar, faculty development programs, and more. Dr. Khan successfully completed 3 research projects sponsored by DST, Day-3 and UGC, Government of India. 3 PhD scholars and 10 MTech scholars successfully completed their PhD under his supervision. His research interests are in the field of applied cryptography, information security, smart grid security, IoT security, cloud computing, cloud data security. So thank you very much, sir, for Ajay sir for giving the request for giving the honor to my request to join here as you are a contributing, you can say contributing researcher or you can say academician. So I welcome you, sir, on behalf of CMR Engineering College. Once again, I request HOD, sir, HOD sir. Steve sir, you are here? No, I think he is not listening. So, sir, we can start the session. You can, I make you host, sir, first, and then after that, you can share your slide. Share. Sir, I have make you co-host, so you can share your slide and you can start presentation. Yes.
So it is visible, it is?
Yes, yes, it is visible, sir. Full screen required. Yeah.
So first of all, I want to thanks to Dr. Gautam Kumar, coordinator for this FDP program. And I also thanks to the CMR Engineering College, Hyderabad, the organizing institute of this FDP, for giving the opportunity to share the idea or these thoughts with you. I very grateful to come here to present here. Okay, I thanks to all the participants for joining. In this pandemic situation, we know that all the world are in very difficult, tough situation for us. So still we are try to survive ourselves. Okay, so thank you to all. So now I can start the discussion. So very good morning to all of you. So myself, Dr. Ajay Kumar Khan, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Computer Engineering, Mizoram University, Aizawl. Today I am going to discuss a topic: research challenges in side channel attacks and its countermeasures for this 1.5 hours. So before going to the detailed discussion, let's see that there are 3 sections. So the audio is clear, na? Audio is clear?
Yes, sir. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay. So there are 3 section or the part of my lecture. So first section is the basic cryptography, security attack, security services and mechanism. Second part is the introduction to side channel attacks and its various types of side channel attacks. And third part is the we'll go the little details of the power analysis attack and its countermeasures part. And the last portion is the research challenges. What are the research challenges for this topic or for this domain? Okay. So first is the cryptography. So what is the basic idea about the cryptography? We all know this subject, cryptography subject. So this subject actually it is a belongs to the applied mathematics subject, where we can study the encryption principle or the method for encrypting the message when we are transmitting the message from one end to another end. That is the idea of the cryptography, all we know. Now there is some other terminology which is related to this cryptography subject. There is a cryptanalysis term is called the cryptanalysis. So cryptanalysis means that code breaking or to break the this encryption technique or which we have used in the cryptography. So the cryptanalysis is this is the study or the study of principle or method for deciphering the ciphertext without knowing the key. So that means this is the job of the attacker. So where without knowing the key, how to break this ciphertext or which we have used in the cryptography, which we have encrypted in the cryptography. Now cryptology. So cryptology, this is a field of where we can combine both cryptography and cryptanalysis. So now what is the application for this cryptography subject? Actually, there are lots of application are there in this cryptography subject. Even everyday life, we are using this cryptography day by day. Which basically this when this online concept is came in the market for the financial transaction or this online banking or internet banking, mobile banking. So we are using lot of application for this cryptography. So cryptography is used in many application. So like the banking transaction, card, computer password, and the e-commerce transaction, everywhere we are using. Even without the cryptography, we cannot spend a single day also. This is the situation is came up in the market. So now another application is the authentication and the digital signature, which is very important in case of public key cryptography. Now question is that what is public key cryptography? Actually, there are 2 type of cryptography are there, or crypto system we can say about the crypto system. One is the private key or the symmetric key crypto system. Another is called the public key crypto system. Now what is the private key crypto system? or which is called the symmetric key crypto system, where we can use the same key for the encryption and the decryption, and as well as that key we have to be shared between the sender and the receiver. That concept is called the symmetric or the private key cryptography. So why it is called the symmetric? Because of the same key is used for the encryption as well as the decryption. So that's why it is called the symmetric or the, and the why it is called the private key cryptography, because this key which we are used for the encryption and the decryption, that is totally private or secret between the sender and the receiver. This concept is called the private key cryptography or the symmetric key cryptography. So another concept is there which is called the asymmetric or the public key cryptography. Now see, asymmetric and the public key cryptography, where actually we have used the, for every user we have used, there are two key. One is the private key, another is the public key. Now in case of symmetric key which we have just discussed, so there the main objective or use of the symmetric key is basically to maintain the confidentiality of the message or maintain the secrecy of the message. But in case of public key cryptography, we can use this public key cryptography either for maintaining the secrecy of the message or even the authentication purpose also. Even we can achieve or we can get the authentication as well as the secrecy of the message both from this public key cryptography concept. How we can get this authentication and this secrecy from this asymmetric cryptography? So we if we encrypt the message, using the private key of the sender, so that means we are maintaining the authentication. Who is encrypting the message? The user who know this private key, so he is encrypting the message. So that means it maintaining the authentication, because this private key is totally known by that particular user, not even the receiver also. So the concept of the public key cryptography, we are using two key. One is called the private key, which is totally private to that particular user, and there is a public key we are using. Public key is known to all the user within that system. Now if we encrypt by the private key, we have to decrypt by the public key. If we encrypt by the public key, we have to decrypt by the private key, and this vice versa. So now see, when we are encrypting by the private key of the sender, so that means we are maintaining the authentication. Similarly, when we encrypting the message by the public key of the receiver, we are maintaining the secrecy, or we can achieve the secrecy. Why we can achieve the secrecy? Because this, when we are encrypting the message using the public key of the receiver, so that means we have to decrypt the message by the private key of the receiver, and this private key is only known to that particular receiver. Other than receiver, no other person can decrypt this message. So that means we can maintain the confidentiality of the message or the secrecy of the message. So this is the idea of asymmetric crypto system. And presently in our daily life or the real life, whatever we are using, so most of the things are the public key cryptography, because there are a lot of advantage we are getting in case of public key crypto system. Even in case of our ATM facility, where we are using this our ATM card also, so the everywhere we are using this concept of the, and most popular example of the public key crypto system, we all know that RSA we are using. Even the nowadays there are other public key crypto system are there. So like ECC we are using, even amalgam we are using. These are the example of the public key crypto system. And even the private key crypto system, we are using the AES and the DES and the AES. Idea is also there. So that actually the earlier we have used, but present day or the present situation, we are using this public key crypto system. Now see, next is the aspect of security. See, we are dealing with the security. So now there are three aspects of security. There are three main aspects of information security. So what are the three main aspects? There are security attack, security services, security mechanism. Very brief, we'll be just recapitulate this topic. What is the security attack? Let's see the security attack. Security attack can be defined. It's any action that compromise the security of the information, that is called the security attack. So that means when some uncalled event or some unexpected event may happen in our system, so we can say about that the attack is happen. Any action that compromise the security of the information, that is called the security attack. So there are general classification, or we can be there are 4 type of attack. We can be divide the attack 4 type of, on the basis of how this attack may happen. How this attack may happen in this we can be classified. There are 4 type of attack. Let's what are the 4 type of attack? Interruption, interception, modification, and the fabrication. These are the attack, 4 type of attack. Let's see that just very brief, what is this 4 type of attack. So if we assume that the basic model where the source S is sending some message to the destination D, so now what will be the scenario for this 4 type of attack? First is the interruption. Interruption means that attack on availability. Attack on availability. So attack on availability means that, so that means if we observe this model, so that when the source is sending some message to the destination, so that message is not reaching to the destination, message is not available to the destination. So that means some attack is happened on the availability of the message. This is called the interruption. This is called the interruption, which is called the attack on availability. That means the message is not reaching to the destination, message is not available to the destination. Second is the interception. Interception means that someone is already interrupt or intercept with the message. So that means attack may happen on confidentiality. So that means the message is reaching to the destination, but in the meantime, some attacker is already captured the message. Some attacker is already know the what is the content of the message. So the confidentiality is violating. So the secrecy of the message is violating. This idea or this attack is called the interception, where we can say attack on confidentiality. Third one is the modification, that is called the attack on integrity. So attack on integrity. So that means when, what is the meaning of integrity? Integrity means that is where the violating of the originality, that is called the integrity. So that means originality is violating. So that means source is sending the message to the destination, but attacker is captured this message, attacker is changing the content of the message, and this modified message is sending to the destination. So that means this violation of the integrity of the message are there. That attack is called the modification, where the attacker is modifying the content of the message. This attack is called the modification. Fabrication, which is called the attack on authenticity. Attack on authenticity. That means though the source is sending the message to the destination, but attacker is supposed to pretend as a source. Attacker supposed to pretend as a source, and this attacker is sending the message to the destination. This is called the fabrication, where the attack on authenticity, that means the authentication is violating here. This attack is called the fabrication. So this classification actually based on how this attack may happen. Now another classification is there, which is the general classification, that is called the active attack and the passive attack. Now let's see that what is this passive attack. Passive attack actually it's nothing but this obtain the information that be transmitted or eavesdropping. So that means the attacker can obtain some information, but the attacker not changing the any content of the message. Any whatever the message is there, the attacker is not changing. Just only the attacker is taking a copy of message or taking some other information. That is idea is called the passive attack. There are 2 type of passive attack are there. One is called the release of message content. Release of message content means that the attacker is taking a copy of message but not changing the content. That idea is called the release of message content. This is called the release of message content, where the attacker can take a copy of message. That is called the release of message content. And traffic analysis. Traffic analysis means that where the attacker can get some information related to the traffic parameter, like frequency, whatever the length, time, etc. See, actually, my today discussion is the side channel attack, which is nothing but this type of passive attack where these traffic analysis are there, where the information related to the traffic parameter, so that will be collected by the attacker, and that information can helpful or can use to find out the secret information. That is called the traffic analysis, where the attacker can get some information related to the traffic parameter. Now see, the passive attack is very difficult to detect than the active attack. Why? Because of actually this, in case of passive attack, we know that the content of message is not changing. That means the victim is not aware that I am in the or this victim is on the hand of attacker. So when, or maybe after some days, after few days, when the victim is checking whether his message is okay or not, then only he is observing he is under attacker. Immediately or instantly when the attack is happened, so the victim is not aware that he is under the attacker. So that's why this passive attack is very difficult to detect. And not only that, this attack is also dangerous for our whenever we are using this our daily life, we are applying the cryptography. So this attack is more dangerous. So we have to be careful so about from this passive attack. Now the active attack, actually, see, in active attack actually it's involved some changing, some modification of the message or maybe the content of the message. That idea is called the active attack. There are 4 type of active attack are there. So like masquerade attack. Masquerade attack is happen when one entity may be served or pretend to be different entity. That is called the masquerade attack. That means, suppose what may be the example of masquerade attack? Example is that, see, actually sometimes we have seen that some unseen or maybe uncalled message or email is coming from the on behalf of some authority of our organization, and then after few days then we have getting the notice that the email of the vice chancellor or email of the principal of the college is already hacked, and this all the employee are getting some uncalled email from in the name of vice chancellor or in the name of principal. So that means what is happening? Happening means this: the attacker is serving as a vice chancellor, as a principal, and he is sending some message to the employee. So this attack is nothing but a masquerade attack. So where one entity pretend to be different entity. So this is the example of the masquerade attack. Now the replay attack. What is the replay attack? Replay attack means that when the attacker can send some message to the again, or which is called the retransmission, or maybe the some portion of the message can be retransmission to produce and some unauthorized effect. Now one question may come that what is the problem of the replay attack? Because as such there is no violating, no problem for the replay attack, because if the attacker sends some message again, then what may be the problem? Suppose some general message, in case of general message that we'll meet tomorrow some places. So that means if this message is sent again, then what may be the problem? There is no as such problem is there. But when the problem will come, the problem will come in case of financial transaction. Suppose you have purchased some item from in case of online shopping or maybe some shopkeeper, and you have given the instruction to your bank that transmit this amount or maybe in 1 lakh amount from your account. Now the attacker can create some false or maybe some other duplicate account, and they can do something, they can attack in some way, so that they can send this message to the bank, and what the bank will assume that this message is genuine and you are sending this message, and this again the same amount will be deducted from your account. So the replay attack is more dangerous, and it is applicable for in case of financial transaction. That is the idea for the replay attack, where the same message or maybe some part of message can be retransmitted or maybe for some unauthorized effect. That is the idea of the replay attack. Now modification, what is the meaning of modification? Some portion of the message can be altered. This is the idea of the modification. Now what is the maybe the example for this modification as such? As we all know, see, modification attack is, suppose it is also applicable for the general message also. Suppose in case of military, in case of army, they are exchanging some secret message that today night we will be attack somewhere. Okay, now the attacker if change this today, attacker is changing this word today, he is changing this tomorrow. Now what happened? That will be problem for in case of military person, that changing the message. Even sometimes this in financial transaction also, in place of 1000, if we put another zero to for deduct the amount from our account, so that is also example of the modification attack, where we are changing the content of the attacker is changing the content of the message. That is the idea of the modification attack. Now another attack is called the denial of service attack, that prevent the normal use of communication facility, from the server. That is the idea of denial of service attack. So that means, what may be the example or real life example of the denial of service attack? See, all are using our we have used to suppose to take our Tatkal ticket from the railway server. We know that when we are going to issue some Tatkal ticket from the railway server, so that particular moment, the general public is not getting the service from the server. Why? What is the reason? The reason is that you know this information. Just few years back, that there are two culprit were captured due to use some unauthorized software to jam this or to block the ticket or to issue the ticket from the railway server. Those who have purchased this software or use this software, some agent or some agency, then they can buy the ticket or they can issue the ticket. So that problem actually we have faced. That is the example of the denial of service, where for a particular period of time that we are not getting the service from the server. So that may happen. Even sometimes the attacker are more clever. They are use this different, so many new technique to hack our account, to capture our financial bank account also. Like, see, nowadays what happen? See, when some transaction is happening, suppose we have to get the message to our mobile that this amount is deducting from my account from this purpose, something like that. So for that purpose, what the attacker presently is doing, is first they are blocking the mobile server. They are blocking the mobile server, or they are jamming our mobile server, so that we will not get the message instantly if something is happened in our account. That policy or that technique are following by the presently the attacker, where they are first they are blocking our mobile server, they are jamming the mobile server, so that we will not get the message from the mobile server, and we will not aware that our account is some amount is deducting, or they are going to zero balance from our account. That thing is also happen in case of denial of service attack. So these are all are the related to our attack, which is the most one of the important aspect for our security. Now next is the services. Now see, if we want to, if suppose some attack may happen, or there is a chance of some attack may happen. Now what we can do? We have to provide some services to our system, so that this attack will be not happen. So that is nothing but the security services. So that means, to either in the prevention, or it may be the detection, or it may be so that it will be not happen, the attack will be not happen in our system. So we have to provide some services to our system. That is called the security services. So what is the security services? Security services is nothing but some services we have to provide our system to make our system secure. There are main 5 security services are there by which we can make our system secure. First security services is the confidentiality. What is the meaning of confidentiality? Meaning of the confidentiality means that to maintaining the secrecy of the message. So that means when we are transmitting the sending message from one end to another end, so that means we have to take care or we have to provide this kind of services so that our message will be not visible to other. Our message will be transmit in a secrecy manner, or it follow the confidentiality order, so that the secrecy of the message will not violated. This services is called the confidentiality. Now the second services is the authentication. So so what is the authentication? Achha, confidentiality, what is the example of the confidentiality? See, when we are going to our ATM counter to withdraw some money, so after putting the our PIN number, so how this PIN number is transmitting from this ATM counter to the bank server, how this ATM number is transmitting. See, actually PIN number is transmitting in the encrypted form from this ATM counter. We know that when we are withdraw the money from our ATM counter, so that means some message is sending from this machine, ATM machine, to the bank server. Now when we are giving this PIN number is going to the encrypted form to the bank server, so that the confidentiality will be maintained. This is the example of the confidentiality. Now second services is the, I think someone have unmuted. Actually there is some sound is coming, so please mute. Second services is the authentication. Second services is the authentication. Now what is the authentication? Authentication is a one kind of security services by which we can prove the genuineness of the user. Genuineness of the user we can prove by using these authentication services. So what is the meaning of this authentication of the user to prove the genuineness of the user? See, now let's give the example. See, actually when our student or we are using our internet facility within the university campus or within the college campus, so what we need, we have to use some login ID and password. So what is the significance of this login ID and the password? The significance is nothing but we have to prove that we are the valid user or we are the genuine user to use this internet services. So this ID and the password is nothing but that to prove the authenticity of the user, to prove the authentication to use this internet facility like this. So this is the example of the authentication services. Third one is the integrity. Now see, integrity actually, this integrity means that data integrity or the message integrity. So what is the meaning of this message integrity? See, message integrity, it means that the message which is received by the receiver, whether we have to prove whether it is same as it is sent by the sender or not. That is called the message integrity. That means, so suppose sender is sending some message. Now in between the transmission channel, the message may change or attacker may change the content of the message. So receiver end, after receiving the message, so receiver had to verify what message he received, whether this message is same as it is sent by the sender or not. That we have to be verified. This idea is called the message integrity. Now next one is the non-repudiation. So what is the meaning of non-repudiation? Non-repudiation means that, so when the sender is sending some message to the other, or maybe the receiver is after receiving the message, so the sender can deny that I have not sent this message, or the receiver may deny that I have not received this message. So we have to use or we have to provide some services by which we can prove that yes, sender, you have sent this message, no other have sent this message, you have sent this message. Same thing in case of receiver, we can prove that the you have sent this message, not other person sent this message. So the non-reputation means that there is some services by which we can prove the sender cannot deny that he have not sent the message, or the receiver cannot deny that he have not received the message. Like this example, we can give the example also. See, example, sometimes some official communication is coming from our higher authority. Now, so there we are using some systematic way, or we are using this kind of providing this kind of services, so that we cannot deny that no, we have not received this message to do this activity like this. So that means this is a kind of services by which sender or the receiver cannot deny that he or she have not received the message or not sent the message. Now, last one is the access control. See, this access control, what is the meaning of these access control services? Access control services means that to provide some services by which we can control the access power of the user. Access control is a one kind of security services by which we can control the access power of the user. Let's give the example. Suppose in the our most popular example, everybody we are using that in case of Facebook, when we are giving some message, there is an option in the setting who can see this message, whether friends can see this message, friends of friends can see this message, or any user or anyone can see this message. That means there is an option to the controlling the access of the user who can see this message. So this is the example of the access control. Another example I am sharing, in case of online examination system, we know that in case of online examination system, so everything in the system, starting from the question paper, starting from up to this mark sheet, everything in the system. But as if from the student login, student cannot see this confidential matter or the confidentiality of the question paper. The student cannot see this, but the faculty member or maybe the in charge of this examination in charge can see this question paper. So how things happen? We are providing such kind of services by where we are controlling the access power of the student. We are controlling the access of the student that they cannot see this confidential matter. Whereas COE or maybe the examination section can see these all the things. Student can only see their mark sheet. Student can get the question paper on time at the schedule of the exam, at the time of this particular day and date and time of the exam. Beyond that or before that, they cannot open the question, something like that. So this is the example of the security services where access control means that to controlling the access of the user. I hope that I try to give this example so that it will be better visibility will be we can better understanding and we can get the idea. So this is the idea of the security services. Now the security mechanism. Now see, what is the security mechanism? See, actually we know that there is a chance of some attack in our system. For that we have to provide some security services. Now question is that how these security services will be implemented? How these security services will implement in our system? Suppose for example the confidentiality. If we want to provide these confidentiality services to our system, how we can provide these confidentiality services? Then we have to use the security mechanism. Without security mechanism, we cannot provide any security services. That means if we want to implement any security services, we have to use the help of security mechanism. Like for example, this confidentiality services. If we want to implement these confidentiality services, we have to use the DES, which is called the data encryption standard, or AES, which can be used for implementing these confidentiality services. So that means if we can use this DES or AES in our system, so we can get these confidentiality services. So security mechanism is a one kind of protocol algorithm by which we can implement our security services. So what is the security mechanism? this is the idea of the security mechanism. There are two types of security mechanism is available. One is the specific security mechanism. So specific security mechanism means that where some specific purpose we have to use, like if we use DES, so that is the specific purpose is the maintaining the confidentiality. If we use digital signature, so that means the specific purpose is that to maintaining the confidentiality as well as the authentication. That is the idea of the providing the digital signature. So the digital signature is one kind of security mechanism by which we can provide the confidentiality services as well as the authentication services. Access control, actually for this authentication services, we can use the our RSA we can use for this authentication. Digital signature can be used for the authentication. Even for this message integrity, for the message integrity, we have to provide this security mechanism like MAC, hash, we can be used for this message integrity security services. Okay. Access control, there is a one security mechanism, access control, that we have to use for providing these access control services. Pervasive security mechanism, which is used for the some general purpose like event detection, like trusted functionality, that are the example of this pervasive security mechanism. So these are the security idea of the security mechanism. Now the first portion of my lecture is completed, where I try to cover the basic idea about the cryptography, about the security attack, security services, and the security mechanism. Okay. Now second portion is the side channel attack. Now what is side channel attack? See, actually this we have already know that passive attack, there is a one kind of attack which is called the traffic analysis, where we have seen that there are some information like traffic related information, there is a scope to collect by the attacker, and that information can be used in future to get the secret information. Now side channel attack, the idea of the side channel attack is this unwanted leak information from a device are called the side channel information. So that source to the destination through the transmission media, through the communication channel, some information or which is called the side channel information are leaking from the system. That information is called the side channel information, like power, time, noise, sound, etc. These are the example of side channel information which is leaking at the time of transmitting the message from source to destination through communication channel. Such information can be used by the attacker for mounting attack on a cryptographic result, which is called the as a cryptographic result, which is called the side channel attack. So that means when the attacker is used this side channel information like power, time, noise, sound, electromagnetic radiation, these are information are used to get some secret information. That idea is called the side channel attack. So there may be one question may come, how this information which is useless, that is like power, time, noise, what is the use of this information to get the secret information key? Yes, there is a link, there is a relation between this information or side channel information and our secret key which is used. Now the research is ongoing that on this, how this information can be used to get the secret information. Even almost all the modern crypto system, all the modern crypto system, whichever we in our daily life we are using, like DES, AES, RSA, etc., are vulnerable to this attack. Even use of this crypto device like smart card are encouraged to side channel attack to a large extent. Now what one question may arise in our mind, that what is the importance for this side channel attack? See, every day we are using our smart card, every day. So the smart card, there is a one scope, or this smart card is encouraged for this side channel attack. Even this attack is now, this USA in UK is already is very what is called that in the dangerous form. So even in the India also, slowly it is spreading throughout the India. Suppose you have a market or online shopping you have done using your card, and now this tomorrow your bank account is the zero balance, like this. even your credit card also. If you use this credit card for this online shopping, even basically when this POS system where we are using scratching our card, there is a chance of more vulnerability for this, which with respect to this side channel attack. So these are the concept of the side channel attack. Now let's go the definition. So this is side channel attack is any attack based on the information gained from this side channel information and this implementation of this computer system rather than weakness of the implemented algorithm, that is cryptanalysis or software bugging. So that means there is a difference between conventional attack and the side channel attack. What is the difference? Conventional attack, actually, in case of conventional attack, the attacker are using cryptanalysis or maybe this some information which is available in this crypto system. But in case of side channel attack, the attacker are using the side channel information, timing information, power consumption, electromagnetic leak, or even sound also can provide some extra source of information which can be exploited. So this is the idea of the side channel attack. Let's see that what are the category for this side channel attack. Okay, before that I can just a pictorial view so that it will be, we can get the clear understanding the difference between traditional model and the side channel model. Traditional model, the cryptanalysis is observing the communication channel to get some information. So the attacker can apply either brute force attack or maybe the cryptanalytic attack to get the secret information. So it's just a conventional or traditional model. But in case of side channel attack, we have seen that either in the source device or maybe the sender device or maybe the receiver device, there is a scope or the chance of leakage of side channel information like power, heat, visible light, electromagnetic radiation, sound. So these are the information can leak from the either maybe the source end or maybe the receiver end, and this attacker can get this information to get the secret information. This is the difference between traditional attack or the traditional model of attack and the side channel model of attack. Okay. Next is the just a pictorial view. Nothing it's there. Just I want to show them it so that it will be more visible for you. That see, this is the conventional attack. What is happening there? There is a communication channel, and this malware or attacker is sitting in between Alice and Bob, and the things is there. What the policy is there, attacker is trying to break that, like confidentiality, like integrity, like authenticity, that the attacker is trying to break. So the objective of the attacker to break this policy or this concept, this idea from here. So this is the so this is the idea for the conventional system. Let's see the conventional system. There is a chance of security attack. There is a chance of security attack. Now see that the interception. Okay, let's see that what may be happen. Now see, in case of interception attack, there is a confidentiality can be violated. And what the mechanism we are using? We are using encryption. Similarly, in case of modification attack, the integrity can be violated wherever we are using the mechanism and the hash function. Okay. Yeah. Now see, in this figure, actually, what I have discussed in earlier, to provide the services, we have to use some mechanism. So these are the policy. Policy means the security services. Policy means the security services. Suppose in the confidentiality services, we have to use the encryption mechanism. Integrity services, we have to use the hash mechanism. Authenticity services, we have to use the MAC mechanism, like this thing. Even what the attacker is doing, attacker is sitting on the communication channel. He tried to break these security services. He tried to break this mechanism to violating these security services. This is the conventional system. Next slide, I will try to show that what is happening in case of side channel attack. See, in case of side channel attack, now see, there is a communication channel and Alice and Bob is there. Now see, in case of there, side channel attack, there are some leakage information are there, which is the side channel in the real world. There are some leak information are there. That leak information is help for the attacker to get this information. Now see, actually what happened, there is a difference between this conventional and here. Conventional system attacker is try to get or break this mechanism which we have used, like DES, like RSA, whatever the mechanism we have used, the attacker try to break that mechanism to get the secret information. But here what is happening, attacker is try to use this leak information and he analysis, attacker is analyzing using this leak information to get this secret key. This is the idea for this side channel. Now this slide is also the side channel sources are there. So these are the sources for the side channel. So this nothing but some threat model and the security goal, cryptographic algorithm, protocol, software, hardware, all are there. It is impossible to design a total secure system with human in it. See, actually practically it is impossible. So to design the totally 100% secure system, see, whatever the system we are using, even our Paytm system, even whatever our online system, there are some percentage are there is a chance of attack. You can't expect that you will get the 100% security from any system, like whatever we are using, internet banking, whatever we are using. See, bank or we are try to provide the security to as much as possible, but no one can give the guarantee that this system is 100% secure like this. Traditionally we have handled key. Now there are two type of side channel analysis. So what are the two type of side channel analysis? The type, there first is the simple side channel analysis. Now the basic idea for this simple side channel analysis is make use of the characteristics that are directly visible in one measurement trace. So that means when, suppose we have already shared that in case of side channel attack, the attacker are using, there are some side channel information like power, like time, like electromagnetic radiation. These are the information can gathered by the attacker. Now when the attacker can get that or use the only one measurement of traces, like power analysis attack. So if the attacker can get some information using some one measurement of power traces, so that means it is very simple. It is very simple. So for using this one measurement of these traces, the attacker can get some or directly visible and get some secret information. That idea is called the simple side channel analysis. And this secret key need to have some exploitable relationship with the operation that is visible in the measurement traces. So that means there is some relation of whatever the traces or whatever this side channel information we are getting, there is a relation between what the operation is happening at that particular moment. For example, I am giving one example for understanding this thing. Suppose in case of DES, we all know that in case of DES algorithm, there is a 16 round is there. So in 16 round, so that means whatever the power traces will get, so that will be the for the 16 round, right? So that means this 16 round, there is some operation or some data is there to executing this operation, we are getting this power traces. So that means there is some relationship is there between the operation and the whatever the measurement trace we are getting. So that means our output parameter is the power traces, input parameter is the operation or the whatever some data we are use that operation. Okay, so there is a relation between this operation and the measurement, and attacker is try to use this thing. Attacker is try to use this operation versus these power traces to get the some secret information. So that's why the secret key needs to have some simple exploitable this relation with this operation that are the visible in measurement of traces. And typically it is vulnerable implementation, including the key dependent branching also. This is the idea of the simple side channel analysis. Now there is another is there which is called the differential side channel analysis. Now simple analysis, we already mentioned that using only one measurement, that is enough to get this analysis. But sometimes it is practical, it is not possible. Then what we need to do, we have to collect the more number of traces, we have to collect the more number of round, we have to collect the more side channel information for the different round like this. So like looks for the side channel differences that are not directly visible in one measurement traces. So that's why it is the differential side channel analysis. Now, so for that purpose, actually, in case of simple side channel attack or simple side channel analysis, we have seen that using the one measurement or one traces, we can guess something like. But here what happened, when we are collecting or we are going to analysis or we are going to use more number of traces, more number of information, so then we have to use some statistical model or we have to use some statistical method for analyzing this all the information. Like I am giving one example, like if we collect this the information or the traces of the 16 round, so we have to gather this information of 16 round. We, for this analysis purpose, we cannot analysis on our visual basis. Like simple power analysis attack, on visual basis we can guess something. But in case of differential side chain analysis, where we are using more number of power traces or more number of measurement, we have to use some statistical method.
Hello, speakers and the organizing committee. OS is not there, please. Please remove the barrier if some issue is there. Thank you very much. Dr. Naresh, this end.
So am I audible? Sorry for the interruption. There is some.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Am I
Professor, now
audible?
audible. Thank you very much.
Okay, actually some issue is there. Okay, so I am come back to my presentation. So we are discussing this differential side chain analysis. So where we are using the we are using the more than one measurement traces. Okay, this is the idea of the differential side chain analysis. Now let's see that. Oh, just so slide is not moving. I am share. Okay, I'm stop and I will share again. So the slide is moving. So slide is moving.
Yes, sir.
Now this possible side channel attack, this slide I am discussing. It is there, okay, right? Okay, so there are different types of possible side channel attacks are there, like power analysis attack, timing attack, fault analysis attack or fault attack, electromagnetic radiation attack, sound attack, and the scan chain attack. Let's just a brief discussion about this. What are the different types of attack are there? So first is the power analysis attack. So what is the meaning of this power analysis attack? See, this power analysis attack is a form of side channel attack where this attacker studies the power consumption of the cryptographic hardware device. Power consumption of the cryptographic hardware device, and this power consumption can be used for analysis purpose. So these attacks actually rely on the basic physical property of the device, because we know that whatever the device we are using, so that device actually is made by the semiconductor devices that are governed by some law of physics. For that, so there are some generating some power traces is generating. So attacker can
Yes,
use
you are audible, sir.
Some issues there.
This-
So I am come back to my presentation.
Yes, no problem, sir.
it is okay, sir.
Yes, yes.
Gautam sir, it is okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, sir.
okay. So this is the idea of the power analysis attack. So that means what is the main basic idea? Basic idea is the attacker can collect the power traces from the devices or this power consumption of cryptographic hardware devices. In the basis of this power consumption, the attacker can get some information for the secret key. That is the idea of the power analysis attack. Now, there is actually this lab setup is also there for this power analysis attack, because actually, if we ultimate our objective is to design some protecting this our system or the smart card for this from the power analysis attack. For that purpose, actually, first we have to study the attack. First, we have to study the power analysis attack, and then we can design this countermeasure for this attack. Okay. This IIT Kharagpur have the lab setup. I have visited that lab also. In our India, actually, the side channel this research work is ongoing. This IIT Kharagpur and other IIT also. So they have some lab setup for this side channel attack. Okay. Now timing attack. Timing attack. What is the meaning of timing attack? Timing attack is a side channel attack. Actually, in which the attacker can attempt to compromise the crypto system by analyzing the time taken to execute the cryptographic algorithm. Time taken to execute the cryptographic algorithm. So that means the attacker is measuring the time taken by this, what the algorithm is executing, that time is measuring. And we know that every logical operation in a computer is taking some specific time to execute. Like whatever the logical operation, generally we know that the addition, subtraction, multiplication, whatever the operation are there, so that we are using in case of our this algorithm, and this attacker is just measuring the time, and that time can different based on the input. So that means what the input we are giving, so depending on that time can also vary, and what the algorithm we are executing, so that is also this how much time it will take depend on the algorithm also. So attacker can measure this time and the measurement of time of the each operation, and attacker can get some backward input also, and this finding the secret information through this timing information, that can be also possible. That is the idea of the timing attack. Okay. Next is the this is a pictorial view for this timing attack, where every microprocessor is or this processing device is taking some time to execute some information depending on the input. That means plain text and the key, what the value we are getting, depending on that we can measure the time. Okay. Now fault attack. Fault attack, actually this fault attack where we can be induce some fault in the system, and the attacker can measure the output of faulty output and this without fault output. Suppose generally I am giving one example. Suppose we are transmitting one message to the one source to destination using the encrypting the message, right? So then what the ciphertext is transmitting through media, and that is everybody know. Attacker is also know that what the transmit, because this is open. Ciphertext is transmitting through a communication channel, it is open, right? So attacker is collecting. Now attacker is induced some fault to the system, and then attacker is try to get the what the ciphertext is there, and then he can compare these both ciphertext, that is faulty and without fault, what the output is getting. Using this concept or using this information, attacker try to get some information of the key. So the fault attack is an attack on a physical electronic device, that is smart card, HSM, USB token, which consists in tracing the device external, means the voltage light, in order to generate error in the way that the error leads to a security failure of the system. So that means using this fault, the attacker can get some information. This idea is called the fault attack. This is the idea of the fault attack. So we have seen the power analysis attack, timing attack, fault analysis attack. This is the fault analysis attack. Next is the electromagnetic attack. Electromagnetic attack means that, as we know that our device actually is made of CMOS, or the basic transistor, we can say about the transistor. So there is a whenever some operation is executing or performing, there is some electromagnetic radiation is there. So electromagnetic attack are the side channel attack that perform by measuring the electromagnetic radiation emitted from a device on performing the signal analysis on it. So that means when some operation is executing, this device, how much this radiation is there, that can be measured, and that can be used to get the secret information. And this electromagnetic attack are typically non-invasive and the passive, and it is so dangerous, meaning that this attack are able to perform by observing the normal functioning of the target device without causing the physical damage. So without causing the physical damage, so it can, the attacker can observe whatever the functioning are ongoing from these target devices. That idea is called the electromagnetic attack. So where the attacker can use the electromagnetic radiation emitted from the devices. Next is the scan chain attack. Actually, the scan chain attack, that is something different kind of things, where the attacker can use some scan chain include with the devices. An attacker may use some scan chain to launch the attack to obtain some sensitive information, which poses some serious security threat. And like there are two steps are there, like the scan data info obtaining and this analysis, data analysis. There are two steps is there, this scan chain based attack. So that means some external scan chain we are attacker are including with the system to get and to analysis that to getting some secret information. So these are the almost the different types of side channel attack. So whatever we have discussed, there is a power analysis attack, there is a timing attack, there is a timing attack, electromagnetic radiation attack. Okay. And this sound attack is also there, where the attacker can measure some sound which is emitting at the time of executing the algorithm also. These are the different types of the side channel attacks. Okay. Now this second portion is completed, that is the up to the side channel attack. Okay, up to the side channel attack. See, actually sometimes we have seen that in case of our ATM counter, so we are the attacker is using some external devices, okay, to get some extra information, something like that. So that also this kind of activity where the attacker can use some external devices which can be attached with our target devices to get the information. So these are all are more dangerous in our daily life, because earlier it was very simple, but nowadays wherever everything depend on the online transaction, everything is depend on the internet banking, everything depend on our smart card system. So we have to take care about this activity, so where we can make ourselves in a secure manner. Now a little bit details about this power analysis attack. What are the idea about this power analysis attack? So we have given the definition. We have given already the definition. Definition means that power analysis attack means that when the power consumption details are used as a side channel information, it results into the power analysis attack. So that means attacker is measuring the using this power which is consumed by the device and to get the secret information. This is the main concept of the power analysis attack. And now see, with the very small activity, the power traces can be recorded. With the help of the small register and the digital sampling oscilloscope, the power traces can be recorded. Now see, when we are going to the shopping, online shopping, we are using our smart card, we are scratching the smart card to the POS device. If the shopkeeper have bad intention, so he can use some external devices or this measuring this power traces or this measuring this power, how much power consumed. So he can use some, even this wireless system is also came up in market that we cannot visible that wireless system. Okay, so this is we have to be take care. So this is one thing that with the help of the small register, digital sampling, oscilloscope, the power traces can be recorded. Now, little bit details that how we can do this thing or this information. So that let's see the details. Okay. Before that, the similar things is there. Whatever we have already discussed. That there are two types of the side channel analysis are there. So similarly, there are two types of power analysis attack are there, where the simple power analysis attack and the differential power analysis attack. Now the simple power analysis attack with the input value, and attacker has to have the details knowledge of the operation. The power traces are visually imparted for mounting attack, and it can be used to break the security by identifying the operation from the power traces. So that means most of the, in case of simple power analysis attack, the power traces are visually imparted for mounting attack. This is the most important line. Visually imparted means that visually we can compare, visually we can be guess what the things is there, like this. So it can be used to break the security by identifying the operation from the power traces and explore the key dependent differences from the traces, and may not be highly efficient as visual interpretation may not be reveal the key. See, actually it is not very useful because we know that when the our visual interpretation may not give the correct result and may not recover the key also, but in some cases it can be used. This idea is called the simple power analysis attack, where we can use the one power traces or measure the very less information, and it can be visually interpreted for mounting the attack. Attacker has to be the detailed knowledge of the operation, what the operation may happen, and attacker can guess something, but it is not applicable for the all cases. Now the differential power analysis attack. Oh, before that, just I am giving some pictorial view. See, in case of DES, now see, there are 16. You see that we know that in case of DES, there are 16 round are there. And if we measure this, how many peak are there? How many peak are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, and finally one is there. So the same as it is the number of round which is there. So this is the power traces for the DES, and similarly this is the power traces of the AES, and this is just experimentally, actually it can be observed that these are the power traces we can get for DES and the AES. Now the differential power analysis. What is the differential power analysis? There is a problem for the simple power analysis attack are there. We have already discussed that, because this also our visual interpretation may not be correct. It may not be give the correct information about the key. So that's why we have to use this differential power analysis attack, where it is not necessary to have the detailed knowledge of operation, because in case of SPA we have to know the details knowledge of the operation, like attacker have to know the details knowledge of operation. But here, because practically it may not be possible to know the details operation, because we can know only possible if we know what algorithm is used. Like if we know that the for to maintaining the secrecy the system is using DES, then only we know that what are the operation are there. If we know that using AES, then we know that this they are using what are the operation are there. But practically we may not know that what type of operation is using in the banking system. So that's why we have to go the analysis, the more power traces. So however, power traces are statistically analyzed to exact the secret key used. So that means when we have used this more number of power traces, that means we have to use some statistical analysis portion. We have to statistically analysis that information and to get the information. Now, what the real power traces are correlated with the hypothetical value. So that means we have to collect the real power traces and we have to collect or measure some hypothetical. I will show some very brief idea that how to do that using this comparison of the real power traces and hypothetical power traces, power value. So we can get some information. So this hypothetical value are extracted by random plain text and some guess key. Some guess key can be used. And this peak in both the model are compared and analysis to get the secret key. So that means this is the idea of the DPA, where we have to use this more number of power traces. We have to get the statistical analyzation is required to get the secret information, and we have to collect the real power traces and as well as the hypothetical power traces value we have to calculate, and these both value can be compared to get the secret information. This is the idea of the differential power analysis. So there are two types of power analysis we have discussed. One is the simple power analysis attack, another is the differential power analysis attack, and there is another kind is there that is called the CPA or correlation power analysis attack. That also I will discuss later. Now let's see that just a instrumental setup we can see about that. If we use some cryptographic device where we can be smart card and the reader are there, and if we can use some small resistor and the capacitor, we can measure the power. Okay, and that power can be measured through the oscilloscope also, and whatever this ciphertext is are there, so that also can be controlled by using this our computer. And this whatever the waveform is generating for the power, that also can be analysis through this computer. Suppose this oscilloscope is generating some waveform. This waveform can be also analyzed by our programming or the simulation through our computer. So that is also possible. This is the setup for this power analysis, the power traces. Yeah. Now, why this power analysis attack? Now, see, one question is come up that why this power analysis is so dangerous rather than other attack. Other attack is also there. So now see, the main reason is that we know that what are the basic unit of our device, like in our computer, in our any devices. If we see that the basic unit of the because our system is understand only binary system. Why it is only binary system understand? Because our system is made up the transistor, basic element of the devices or this whatever we are used, that is the transistor. And transistor means that is there we are using CMOS, and we know that CMOS actually whatever our digital circuit are there, that we are using the CMOS, and the power consumed by the CMOS depend on the data and the operation which this data are performed. So generally the power P total equal to P data, P operation, P noise, P constant. So generally we are not dealing with the P noise and constant. We can assume that these are the fixed value, and we are measuring and we are more giving this importance to the P data and the P operation. So whatever the input data we are giving, depending on that P data can vary, and whatever operation are executing in the algorithm like DES or AES, depending on this how much power will be consumed, this depend on the this value, we can calculate the P operation and we can get the P total. And all this power component, P data and the P operation can be exploitable through this power analysis attack. So the attacker can get this P data and the P operation. Okay, so that's why since actually all the electronic device are made, even whatever the smart card we are using, within the smart card there is a chip is there, and that chip is made by the CMOS. So everything. So that's why actually this power analysis is more important, and we have to take care for this attack. Now come to the smart card. So the same thing, I'll be repeat this thing because smart card are mainly used for the authentication and secure transaction, verifying our authenticity, even for the secure transaction password. So that is also we are using in the smart card, and smart card use some additional external device to operate, which is a prone to side channel attack. So smart card use some additional external device. Okay, so some additional external devices means that we have to be scratch this card using POS. We have to use this card. So that point is the more vulnerable point that we have to be take care, mainly the chance of attack. And smart card consists the circuit I have already mentioned. It's containing the microprocessor, which mainly based on CMOS gate. So since this smart card is containing this microprocessor, which is made of CMOS, so that means there is scope for the power analysis attack. We have to take care. And CMOS gate have mainly three power sources. One is the leakage current in the transistor, another is the short circuit current in the simultaneously is there, and the dynamic power consumption due to charge and the discharge of the capacitor. There is a dynamic power consumption are there. So that's why there is a relation between the smart card and the power analysis attack. So there is a chance of power analysis attack in case of smart card. So just a sample power traces for actual and the hypothetical value of the DPA. So in experimentally it is observed, or it is collected that the actual power traces and this hypothetical we can calculate the power traces. So it is almost similar, and the attacker can compare these two value of this actual and the hypothetical value and to get the secret information. Now see, for this hypothetical calculate this power, we have to use some power model. And even we know that when this voltage is going to the 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, because we know that power is there where the change of voltage are there. So we are using, there are three model. One is the Hamming distance model, another is the Hamming weight model, another is the switching distance model for calculating this hypothetical power for this using this power model. So what is the basic concept of this power model? If the voltage is 0 to 0, so that means we can take the value of the all zero value for all these three model. Even we can use any one of the model, not three at a time. We have to choose any one of the model. Generally we can use the either Hamming distance or the Hamming weight model we can use to get the better result. So generally for 0 to 0 we have to giving this some value. If it is shifting to 0 to 1, we are giving this all 1. 1 to 0 we are giving this Hamming distance, it is 1, Hamming weight it is 0, switching distance we cannot define, it is keeping null, and 1 to 1 Hamming distance we are putting 0, Hamming weight 1.
Ajay sir, your voice is missing.
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah. So these are the model. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this model we can use to calculate this hypothetical power traces value of this power. Let's see that. Okay, now this just I will not go the details. Just a brief idea that how we can be use this DPA Okay, this you see generally we are taking this plain text, or we can say about this like if we use some plain text is divided into some block by block, that is D1 D2 like DP we are taking, and similarly some key hypothesis. Key means some guesses key, it is not the exact key, some guesses key we are using, and then we are applying some cryptographic algorithm, and then some intermediate value we are getting, like hypothetical intermediate value we are getting. After that we are applying the power model. Then if we apply this power model, then we are getting that what the power consumption are there, that hypothetical value of the power consumption. So that means we are taking some value of the plain text or cipher text, which is totally not known, and we are taking some guesses key. We are applying our cryptographical algorithm, and we are getting some hypothetical or intermediate value. Now we are applying our power model to that hypothetical intermediate value to get the hypothetical power consumption, and we have already measured the actual power traces. Now see, we are trying to compare these two value of the one is the hypothetically calculated power value, one is the actual calculated power measure of the power traces, and then if we get that some similarity, so that means that corresponding key will be the actual key. Now see, suppose I am giving example. Suppose we are getting this H22 and this T22, they are similar. They are similar means that whatever the corresponding key we have taken for this calculate this H22, that may be the actual key. So like this. So this is the idea about that, how this differential power analysis that we can do. Okay. Now I have already mentioned that there is another kind of power analysis is there, which is called the CPA. Let's see that CPA. Now CPA actually it is the correlation power analysis, where this hypothesis on these bits are confirmed in a similar manner of DPA. Like it is same as the DPA, but only one thing is there is a difference. Here actually we are using some coefficient for this comparison purpose. Some coefficient we have used. Even see what this highest coefficient value that we are taking for our consideration. Like what happened in case of DPA, we are using that particular bit, whatever the power consumed for a particular bit or input, that we are comparing. But in case of CPA, we are using some coefficient matrix we are using, that is for this calculating this high correlation, or where is the high correlation that we are using, and even we can use this Pearson coefficient for using this for the compare purpose. Let's see this just very brief. There are 5 steps are there. Suppose generate the traces by encrypting the single block, that is we are doing. And now we are using some model. I have already mentioned to create a model for power uses, estimate the power uses, the key guesses, that I have already explained. That we can use some power model, we can apply to this power model to some intermediate value to get the hypothetical power value, estimated power uses for the key guesses. Now find the correlation between the estimated and the measure. So that means in this step 4, we are using the Pearson correlation for this comparing purpose. Actually, we are calculating this coefficient, which is the highly matching. Pick up the key which higher correlation. That is the actual, maybe the actual key. So this is the idea of the CPA. So we have discussed there are 3 types of power analysis attack. One is the SPA, where more important is the visual perception. DPA we have used, where we have to need to the more power traces, we have to use some statistical analysis method. Finally, lastly, we have used the CPA, where we have to use some correlation formula or correlation method, like a Pearson correlation we can use for this comparison purpose, and which is the higher correlation that should be pick up, and that should be the maybe the actual key, like this. Now whatever this Pearson correlation, just I am sharing the formula, I am not going to the details of that. So the Pearson actually, I have already mentioned, in case of CPA, we have to use the Pearson correlation coefficient based distinguisher. And this Pearson correlation coefficient measure the total linear dependency between two random variable A and B. Actually, there is some mathematical background is there. I am not going to. Just for this information, Pearson correlation can be used, correlation coefficient can be used in case of CPA. Okay. Now we will go for the next part, actually this countermeasure part. There are two parties left. Countermeasure we will be discussed little bit, and whatever the research challenges are there, that little bit I will discuss. So still now, whatever we have discussed the basic idea about the cryptography. We have discussed the three aspects of security, like attack, security, that we have discussed. We have discussed the side channel attack. What is side channel attack? What are the different kind of side channel attack? What are the importance for this side channel attack? Why will we take care? What is the relation between side channel attack and our smart card? Why it is so dangerous for our daily life? That we have discussed. We have discussed details of the power analysis attack. There are three types of power analysis attack that we have discussed: SPA, DPA, and the CPA. Now we are discussing there are countermeasures. So what are the countermeasures for this power analysis attack? See, the basic concept of the countermeasures is there. Before going to discuss the countermeasures, I want to highlight that what the attacker is getting the information. Attacker is getting the information only the power traces. This information is collected by the attacker. Now, somehow, if we can make puzzle in the power traces, then we can be able to countermeasure the attack. Let's go for the details. So see, because power traces, actually what we need to do, we cannot visible the actual power traces. We cannot visible the actual power traces. Somehow we have to make it puzzle. Either we have to make the constant power traces, or we can make some different power traces, or we can make some what is called that independent of our data or independent of the operation, so that there is no relation between power traces and the data or the input what we are giving, like this. Let's go for the details. Power analysis countermeasures can be either make such attack is impossible to mount, or increase the need of the power traces for successful attack. See, this can be implemented either in the architecture level or algorithm level, protocol level, even the gate level also. Gate level means the circuit level also, we can be also give the protection for our circuit level also, which is called the hardware security. There is another application of side channel attack out there. There are general approaches in design the countermeasure, but the specific attack designing this technique has to be discussed. Okay. Now see, there are various techniques there for this countermeasure. First is the change the key module frequently. If we change the key module frequently, then obviously our power traces which will be generated, that will be changed. Okay, that will be changed. Now, second one is the randomize the intermediate result. I have already mentioned that here actually we are calculating the hypothetical power traces from the intermediate result. Now, if we can randomize the intermediate result, where the actual intermediate result will not visible to the attacker, then our power traces will be different. If we randomize our intermediate result, obviously whatever the hypothetical power value will be calculated, that will be different. That will be not actual. This is the second one. Third one is the make power consumption is data independent. I have already mentioned that whatever the input we are giving, we have to do something so that our power consumption will be data independent. It will be not depend on our input data. We have to make such kind of things. Next is the making the power consumption constant. I have already mentioned, if we can make our power consumption will be constant. Now see, what the power traces will be collected by the attacker, it will be totally flat line. It will be not a curve. It will be not a curve. It will be just a flat line, right? So there will be nothing will be get by the attacker. So that also is possible. And another is the randomizing the operation for the cryptographic algorithm. Now see, whatever the, if we minutely observe the every cryptographic algorithm like DES, AES, RSA, there are some collection of operation. Now see, if we can randomize this operation, then although our power traces will be randomized generated, then it will be not helpful for the attacker. Okay. Now see, there are okay, that I have already mentioned. Change the key module frequently. This is one thing, that attacker cannot be captured the enough power traces if we change our key module frequently. Second one is the randomize the intermediate result. This will randomize the power consumption too. If we change the intermediate result, randomize the intermediate result, so obviously the corresponding power consumed will be also randomized. So it will be difficult to correlate the data and the power, and this will make the exacted power traces dormant to the mounting attack. So it will be not helpful for the attacker. Third one is the make power consumption data independent. I have already mentioned. This will also fail to the attacker to correlate the power. No matter of the data or even the absence of data, power consumption will remain identical. It will be just a flat curve. Randomize the operation of the cryptographic algorithm. That is, randomizing the operation will randomize the power consumption. If we randomize the operation, obviously our power traces will be randomized. So that is also one technique of the power. The randomized, that means attacker would not be able to actually relate the power with the intermediate operation. So these are the technique we can be used for as a countermeasure of the this power analysis attack. Mainly, actually, the most important, there are two techniques are there. One is the randomization, another is the maxing. Randomization means that we have to randomize the operation with respect to the data, whatever the data we are giving, that we have to randomize. That is one thing. Another is the maxing. Maxing means that we can put some dummy bit. We can put some dummy bit with the input, so that this actual power traces will be hide. The maxing, we can conceal the actual power traces. Whatever the power traces will be there, that will be not actual, because we have marked some, we have already given some bit as a extra bit. We have already incorporated our data, so that these actual power traces will not be revealed. So these are the idea for the countermeasure of the power analysis attack. So there are 5 techniques that I am just summarizing. These 5 techniques: change the key module frequently, randomize the intermediate result, make power consumption data independent, making the power consumption constant, randomizing the operation of the cryptographic algorithm. Okay, these are the 5 techniques we can use for the countermeasure. Most important is the 2 techniques we are using presently. One is the randomization, another is the maxing, that we are using as a countermeasure for this power analysis attack. Now the research challenges. Actually, the whatever I have discussed, that there are different types of whatever the power side channel attacks are there. There are research is ongoing. Research is ongoing on the specific or the different topic or different problem on the different types of side channel attack, either in power analysis attack or maybe timing attack, fault analysis attack, even the scan chain attack also. But I'll try to highlight the whatever the most challenging or emerging. Okay, whatever the most challenging or the emerging is there, just a little few points I'll try to highlight, and then I'll conclude my discussion. Okay, so if we observe that research on the side channel attack, now see, the research actually have started this 2010, though actually the 1990 Paul Kocher, one scientist, was first developed this power analysis attack or this side channel attack, came into the picture or came into the market to among the scientists, that we have to take care about this side channel attack. Even one book is there, the side channel attack and its countermeasure by Paul Kocher, and that was in 1990. But after that, actually not too much research have done on this topic. I have observed that mostly the research have started in 2010, where the 178 number of research paper was there. And now in 2019, there are 641 research paper are already published in this domain, in this problem domain. There is a side channel attack and its countermeasures. Okay, and day by day, the research is also increasing on this topic. Okay, now see, what are the research challenges? There are numerous research challenges in this field. Some of the research challenges is most challenging or emerging that actually just I am mentioning. One first is the side chain analysis with fault triggering. So what are the concept of the fault analysis attack? This is the concept of the fault analysis attack, that we have to inject the fault to at the time of executing the algorithm part. But one of the most questionable part is that where we can inject, which operation we can inject, which block we can inject. That is the most part. So that's why the side channel analysis with fault triggering, where we can inject that fault. So can we inject anywhere to get the best result? No, we cannot inject in anywhere. We have to find out the specific location or the specific operation where if we inject the fault, we can get the better result. That is the idea of the side channel analysis with the fault triggering. Okay, Achha, let's go for the details little bit I have given for your better understanding that. Now second one is the CPU cache based side channel attack. There is another technique is the CPU cache based, because see, whenever we are scratching the card, whenever we are using the card, there is some temporary memory is there which is called the cache memory, and all we know that there is for sometimes the information is storing in the cache for some duration, small duration. That time the attacker can happen, attacker can do anything. CPU cache based side channel attack. So how to protect that? When we are using our card, smart card, in the outsider, in the POS, in the online shopping, in anywhere, temporarily the information is storing the devices or CPU cache memory. So there is a chance of attack. So that is one thing is there. Deep learning based side channel attack concept is there now, because you know that presently the machine learning and the deep learning are using in everywhere. So the researcher is also using the machine learning and the deep learning in case of side channel attack. So we know that in case of machine learning, that where the system can learn itself, deep learning, the system can learn itself, and it can be determined the which attack there is a chance of attack, whether attack is happen or not. So that type of concept or that type of technique we can be researched or can be go for the research using the deep learning. This is emerging challenging part. Presently we are the researchers are slowly using this machine learning concept, deep learning concept on the side chain analysis, and power variability by and the side chain attack on nanoscale device. See, which is the with the hardware security, we know that whatever our nanoscale device we are using, because we know that the emerging research on the VLSI design. So however we are using very small IC we are getting, but for that cases there is a chance of attack in case of this nanoscale device, because of this power vulnerability, because I have already mentioned that. So we have to also take care these research challenges. Just very brief, I'll be go within the 5 minutes, and 10 minutes I will be keep for the question answer part. See, the side channel with the fault triggering, I have already mentioned. First step is the fault injection. So we have to inject the fault, and finally second step is the fault. We have to analysis the whatever the unexpected behavior are there, right? So this is the one of the research challenges. So in the side fault triggering, the basic idea underlying this attack to identify the operation using this side channel and then inject the fault into the identified function. This identification of the function is the one of the most important. An attacker may be required to identify the appropriate trigger point for the fault injection mechanism, and that is automatically to exploit this power trace are challenging. Okay, so just I am not going to details. I think the idea is clear. What are the research challenges for this fault analysis attack? A solution, there are some solution already in the research is ongoing. I have already mentioned some hiding technique, masking, or maybe some redundancy. We can be use that technique that is came into the research challenges part. Now, second is the CPU scan-based side channel attack. I have already mentioned there is a subset where the retrieve the sensitive information from a system just by exploiting the cache memory in modern CPU. Okay, that is also one research challenges. Presently, the research is ongoing, and side channel attack is based on CPU cache utilized share within the same physical device to component the system. Okay, so that is the one of the research is ongoing. That is CPU cache based side channel attack. Okay. Details actually I am not going. This is research ongoing for this CPU scan based side channel attack. CPU scan based side channel attack. There are some solutions are there. Information independency, resource isolation, anti-co-resistant detection. That means anti-co-resistant, that is nobody can detect this information. Whatever this CPU cache is containing this sensitive information, that is there. Now the deep learning based profile for the side channel information, I have already mentioned this. Currently there are some research is ongoing using this deep learning based, machine learning based research is ongoing. Okay. This is the machine learning side chain analysis and the machine learning. Using the machine learning, there is also scope for this research using the concept of the machine learning, because we know that where the machine learning we can be what is called that system can be learned by whatever the information can be gathered, that we can apply in case of our side chain analysis. Okay, these are this attack. These are the reference. Thank you to all for your patience, because it's a long duration. I think in the almost 1 hour 45 minutes, more than 45 minutes.
Yeah. So,
thank you,
sir. Yeah, there are 3 questions, sir, from the participant side. I read the question. I read the question. First question is, please suggest a secured way of using online transactions, net banking, ATM uses. Please suggest a secured way of using for online transactions, net banking, ATM users.
Yeah. Secure way, right? Actually, the first of all, I want to share with that. See that whatever the banking system provided by the bankers, like internet banking or maybe mobile banking or maybe this our card system, they are providing the security, enough security they are providing, right? But still we have to take care. There are very minor thing if we can take care. First thing is the whatever for in case of online purchase, online transaction, we cannot go for any site wherever we have to check HTTPS. HTTPS is for the secure. That means if any website where they are using HTTPS, so we can go for that site. Any website where there is only HTTP or there is a chance of vulnerability, so we cannot go for this, use our secret information like banking information to that site. Even for any unknown link, even we cannot use any unknown link. Sometimes you will be see that attacker is sending some unknown link to giving some opportunity. You own a lottery, to click this link, you will get the information to fill up this form like this thing. Never go for to fill up this thing, because nowadays what happened, attacker are using more and more new technique. Suppose today whatever they are using, tomorrow that is outdated, and they attacker are more clever than the scientist. We know that attacker are more clever than the scientist. So my basic suggestion is there that do not go for any unsecure website where you can use your confidentially banking information. This is one thing. Secondly, though there is an option, our card can be used. Suppose if we use some PNB card or maybe UCO bank card to any bank, they have provision or they have given. My request is there, until and unless it is too much urgent, then we will not use this SBI card to the other bank or maybe UCO bank to the other bank until and unless it is urgent. Because I am sharing one information when actually we know that when from the ATM counter, this secret information is going to the encrypted form to our bank server. If we use to the same bank, there is no problem to transfer the one bank server to the another bank server. There is only suppose if we use UCO bank card, if we use UCO bank ATM, so that means my PIN number is transmitting through to the UCO bank ATM to the UCO bank server. But if we use to the SBI ATM and this UCO bank card, then what happened? There is a transfer from the one bank server to the another bank server. So that time or that location is more vulnerable. I am not telling about it is not secure. It is secure, but chance of vulnerability is more. If your bank account is content is the enough amount, so that you can avoid until and unless it is urgent. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good answer, sir. One more, another question, sir. If someone hacked our mail ID, can we identify who did this?
Who did that, right?
Yeah.
See actually, yeah. Who did this? Actually, this hacking your mail ID, there is a several meaning is there. Meaning means that the hacker can capture your change your password. That can be happen, right? Another thing is that the hacker can do or whatever. Sometimes what happen na, they are using suppose some vice chancellor mail ID they are sending some message or something like that. That is possible to trace the MAC address or maybe this IP address, that who is doing, from where it is doing. This is that is simple. So if you complain to the cyber branch, they have the power to trace that who have created or from which system. Basically, they first try to identify the system from where, because there is a scope or there is a option to that. We can be identified using the MAC address or using this IP address. We can be identified the network also, that who have done this. Okay. Now question is that the attacker is also there is a doing, they can hide this information also. Okay. So it depends on this what is called that system. So where we are using or what we are using, there is a scope. We can be identified the hacker who have done from which system, because we cannot get the name now. It is not possible to get the name who have done XYZ who have done. We can identify the system from which he have done. That's why we are using MAC address or IP address we are using for this know the network system. Okay.
One more question, sir. Suggest a safe method of using POS in shopping.
Suggest the safe method for
POS, POS.
online shopping.
Yes.
Okay. See, actually, whenever we are going for the online shopping, okay, just we have to be open our ear and eyes. That is my request to all. Suppose you went to big bazaar, you went to, generally what happen when we are going to the big shopkeeper, there is a chance of frauding is less. But sometimes what happen now, we are going to the non-brand shopkeeper. So just you can open your eye and ear where you are scratching your card. Is there any other external device like this? Even try to confidence or maintain the secrecy when you are putting your PIN number. That is also utilized. Sometimes what happen na, we are not careful about that somebody is observing your what the pin number is there. That's why I told you there is a one option CPU cache attack. So when you are giving this pin number, there is a sometimes of temporarily this pin number is saving their CPU cache. Okay. So then if the shopkeeper have bad intention, then he can do anything. So my request or suggestion is there, whenever you are going to online shopping using the POS, just open your eye, you see whatever the environment they are using. Is there any other external device? Even when we are going to the ATM also, because probably you know that the attacker is using some external card scanner, which is duplicate card scanner they are using, they are putting into the ATM system. So that's why they are suggesting, bank are suggesting, whenever you are going to guardless ATM, there is no security guard. Just you can be what is called that verify what the ATM scanner are there, whether that is duplicate or not. You can use this, whether what the keypad is there. Is there any external keypad use or not? I think this video have stayed out vital to that how they are using this external device to the ATM to get this information. Suppose in the card scanner, even this external keyboard, when you are putting the external keyboard to their keyboard, the information is storing to the another system or another memory, and they are getting the information. Even immediately they can design the duplicate card also. Immediately they can design your duplicate card, because they are getting all the card information, not only your PIN number. They are getting all the card information. So that's why whenever or wherever you are going to the ATM or maybe in the online shopping, to the using your card to your POS, please be verify, open your eye, whether is there any external devices there, whether is there any unauthorized person who are observing your hands, whatever you are putting your PIN number. So this is my request. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I give one chance to every participant. If you have any questions, you can directly ask to sir. You can unmute yourself and you can directly talk with him.
At least someone can give the feedback whether you have enjoyed or not, because
Yes,
actually
yes.
what I feel that
Yes.
it is not my lecture, that's a discussion. It is not in the lecture, it is a discussion.
Yes, yes. Okay, so okay, sir. So really, I am very, very thankful to you. You have covered these challenges and opportunity. What was my theme of my FDP that you have covered, and you have generated here a lot of interest in the, you can say, young minds here who are here, who present here as a participant. You have tried to generate the maximum that from there the research can be possible. So whatever the feedback I have received from here, this source as well as other sources, really wonderful, sir. Wonderful to see you, and looking forward, sir. Because I reached you in the month of I think last year we reached you when I was conducting one conference, and you said within a 1 day, yes, I will. You take my name. So thank you very much for that one also. And this time I got this opportunity to welcome you. And yes, thank you very much, sir.
I am also very happy. I am also very happy to join here, because I have seen that almost 100 participants are there.
Yes.
Really, it's a great opportunity to share or to discuss with the 100 participants, 100 faculty member or the research scholar. Okay, I try to share my idea or thoughts in a particular research domain, and I hope that you have enjoyed this session. Okay,
yes,
thank you.
It is not only 200, sir. It was also giving it was online on the YouTube. So I was streaming in on the YouTube. So some of the actually participants are also available there. So we are also enjoying and feeling much pleasure to conduct such a good type of this type of FDP. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have shared the feedback link. If you have any queries, you can put in the chat box. Okay, so thank you. Thank you all the participants. We will meet at 1:30 with the next session.